global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. I want to say a big thank you to as many of you who have been watching, sharing, liking and commenting on our videos. Thank you for making our community very lively. We really do appreciate your viewpoint. We also appreciate your keeping faith with us. Well, it looks like Nigeria issue. Could we call Nigeria issue a leadership problem issue? Is it a square peg and round hole problem? Why is it that it's a mandatory thing now that every month Nigeria must go borrowing? What do I mean? They keep seeking for loans. We knew it at the very beginning that if Nigeria is borrowing to buffer the deficit budget, then what will happen to infrastructural development? We are in for it. Already the level of debt Nigeria has incurred is mind-boggling. But then you'll be amazed to hear that every month it looks like Nigeria sometimes borrow twice a month. This money we are talking about is not in naira. Already Nigerian money has been devalued to 380 naira per dollar, which means even repayment is going to be a hackling tax. Yes. Now we are going and borrowing every month. Well, this month again, Nigeria have gone as usual with pan in their hands to go borrowing for money, sourcing for money, not even looking internally. I don't know. They are heading, the Fulanis are heading, Hausa Fulani, Northern Fulanis are heading the majority of the parastatal. I'm surprised that they can't still generate revenue enough to take care of the internal needs of Nigeria, running of Nigeria. But then AFDB have actually approved Nigeria's $288.5 million loan to tackle COVID-19 pandemic. This COVID-19 is an ATM name for a lot of things these days. The loan, according to the Development Finance Institution, will bolster the government's plan to improve surveillance and response to COVID-19 emergencies, ease the impact on workers and businesses, and strengthen the social protection system. The African Development Bank has approved $288.5 million loan to help Nigeria tackle the COVID-19 pandemic and mitigate its impact on the economy. The loan, according to the Development Financial Institution, will bolster the government's plan to improve surveillance and response to COVID-19 emergencies. The loan is the bank's initial response to help mitigate the slump in oil prices and its impact on national economy. Nigeria had in April secured $3.4 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund, that's IMF, in emergency financial assistance under the fund's rapid financing instrumentation to support government's effort in addressing the severe economic impact of COVID-19 again. Economic shock and drastic fall in oil prices. The proposed program will ensure that the fiscal position and the economy are sufficiently supported to weather the COVID-19 shocks, thereby limiting its potential adverse impact on livelihoods and the economy more generally. Ibrahim Mafar, the bank's senior director for Nigeria, said. The bank said its active portfolio in Nigeria as of December 2019 comprised of 61 operations with a total commitment of about $5 billion. The active operations, according to him as well, the active operation include 29 in the public sector with a commitment of $2 billion, which is about 43%, and 32 non-sovereign operations with a total commitment of $3 billion. That makes it $5 billion, equivalent to 57% of the total portfolio. Nigeria is really going borrowing. Well, you have heard it all. We don't know, the month is just about starting, so we don't know before the end of the month if we'll still borrow another one. The thing is that I don't even know. Is it that the whole intellectuals we have in Nigeria, they don't have a way of going into leadership and correcting this mess? Is it this loan they are borrowing? I tell you, to take us more than 15 years to even see how we can even stabilize, how much more to start paying back. We borrow to feed. We borrow to import. We borrow to do everything. Fulani herdsmen are driving agricultural farmers away from their farmlands so that they can even plant crops and, give Nigerians staple food, sustainable food. But the way it is going, before December 2020 or 2021, we will not even have farmers who are going to the farm because they are scared of their security and life. By so doing, eventually, we will start importing food. We will start borrowing money to import food, things that we can produce in Nigeria simply because we have insecurity issue. And to think that our humanitarian minister, with due respect to you, madam, that you are feeding children of how many years who are not even in school, that you say it is important to feed them. There's no economic activity going on. You are carrying $600 and something million naira every day to feed recurrent expenditure, to feed children who did not beg you to be fed. Why not empower the children? Why not empower their parents? When the parents are empowered, they can feed their children. Is it that we have square pegs and round holes as leaders in the place of financial management in our country? That is why we are behaving as if that we don't have anything. We're always carrying cap in hand to go and beg when we have all it takes to sustain our economy. Nigeria is so blessed in everything you can think of, but yet you're carrying cap in hand to go and beg foreign banks, for African banks, for daily sustenance in this country. Why would we be thinking that we empower now? They be giving them 30,000 naira every month, and you said you are looking for employing how many people, and you claim it in your to-do list that you have already achieved that. You have employed how many millions or hundreds of millions of Nigerians. You have taken them out of the street. Now some of them have finished their 2 to 3 years program. They're going back to the same already overflowing labor market that is overflowing. You taught them how to teach. Where is the school you are going to absorb them? Are you going to? They are used to 30,000 now. You told them to be saving money. You are telling an adult. Some of them are even married women. Some of them are married men. To save 30,000 naira, that is not the minimum wage. Is no longer enough to sustain food. How much is a bag of rice? 25,000 naira. In some places, 23,000 naira. It's not even. By the time you finish buying a bag of rice for his how many children, the money is gone. No economic activity. You are training people to become teachers. You did not put adequate provision to absorb them into the market, employment market, in case they finish their program. You finish teaching them, say you have to finish teaching them Empower, and that they should now go back into the labor market. As what? They should become what? Lesson teachers? Please, cut us some slacks. Now you have started again with this humanitarian trying to feed children. How economic is that activity? Those monies you are using to feed children, why not plow it back? We're talking about insecurity here. How come up till now the herdsmen are having a free reign, doing what they know best, threatening, maiming? No one have brought any herdsman accountable for everything he has done. We keep seeing this over and over again. COVID-19 is not an excuse, not the ATM of our political leaders. When they begin to use the excuse of COVID-19, that's the same COVID-19 and the presidency have said now that they are opening up the economy, so to speak. Every state now should take care of their COVID-19 cases and run it the way they feel is right. Now that is what we're talking about, a decentralization of power. But you only did that in COVID-19. After holding on to power, you realize that COVID-19 is not a pandemic you begin to use to play. You now decide to release it for every government of the state to run it the way they deem fit. But that's the same COVID-19 we are using as our ATM machine to begin to borrow very seriously, endangering our economy. Why not have the same power decentralized in everything? Why not give the states the power to run their state autonomously, as in have the power to make decisions, have the power to grow their economy, have the power, give them the wherewithal, and also have the power to grow their policing, community policing, so that if any Fulani herdsmen find their way in, you can deal with them decisively. Not the one that Fulani herdsmen become untouchable citizens, superior citizens. Give them that same power to me. How some states will become a Dubai of their own, even within Nigeria that is already overborrowing. Just imagine giving power to the region. Imagine giving power to the state and allow the state government to freely run their state, and allow also the true democracy to run in, where even the citizens of that state, indigenous of that state, can keep their government in check, keep their government accountable. But where the central is having power, everybody, you can imagine humanitarian minister borrowing so badly and spending hundreds of millions of naira, say he's feeding children. What is the economic value of children feeding? How does it translate and you begin to make money out of it? Well, why are we having square pegs? Why are we having people who don't even go beyond, thinking beyond the now? All our children, as we speak now, an average Nigerian is already a slave, financial, economic slave. Because we don't even know the conditions of which they are collecting this money. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What do you think about this incessant borrowing? I don't think it will stop anytime too soon. This is just the second year of the second tenure. And we still have about, second year. We just entered the second year of the second tenure. So we still have about 2.5 years or even 3 years to run this. So if you're borrowing every month, Nigeria is sold. Let's meet in our comment section.